While on YouTube, stand by for Emily Gomer.
Welcome everybody to the World of Ability Podcast Network. My name is Emily Gomer and am a podcast engineer, scheduler, virtual assistant here, and so bring you another episode of the Revolutionize Your Marketing with Mill City Marketing and MMA. John Petros. And so Mill City Marketing is all about marketing and helping businesses with different things in the marketing arena. So I am going to bring in John here. So welcome, John.
Hello, Emily. Thank you for that intro. Today, I thought we'd talk a little bit about using AI. And do a little explanation how AI works in marketing.
Sounds good.
There's a part of AI that's known as ChatGPT. It's a very interesting part of AI. That's where you can type in what you want to know, and in seconds it prints it out. It gives you the information you want. I use it in getting ad copy, which I can then reword and rearrange, but it gives me the basic outline. Give you an example. Right, this is what you would put in the topic line. Write a Facebook advertisement for 20% off a wedding photography package. And what it would give you is attention all soon-to-be newlyweds. Your dream wedding deserves to be captured in the most beautiful and timeless way possible. And now you can make that happen at a fraction of the cost. We're offering a limited time 20% discount on your premium wedding photography package. Say I do to stunning images that will last a lifetime. Our team of professional photographers will be there to capture every smile, every kiss, and every special moment. Don't miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to preserve your wedding memories. Book now and receive 20% off your dream wedding photography package. Contact us today for more information and to secure your special discount. Let us help make your special day even more unforgettable. And that would be, of course, an ad for a photographer that does weddings. And as long as you put in what the advertising platform is the ad's going to be put on, what the offer special is, the type of business it is, and the business name. That's the stuff that you want to make sure it gets put into an ad. Another example would be like a life insurance company. You can do it to give you headlines for an article that you want to write yourself. You could put in something like, write 10 headlines for a webinar selling life insurance. And then it'll give you the list of 10 headlines, such as protect your loved ones with the right life insurance and join our webinar today. Or maximize your life insurance coverage for peace of mind. The importance of life insurance. Discover your options at our upcoming webinar. And you can just get all kinds of different topics just by typing in how many options you want. If you put in the number 20, it'll give you 20 different headlines. What type of business it is, what the sales mechanism is, and of course the business name. It'll help write a sales pitch. Following the same format, just type in what you want it to say. Like if you're selling an automobile and you want it to go to new married young couples, you can put that in and it'll address it right directly to the type of person you want it to go to. And for those out there who do actual marketing, you can do it. It'll give you all the content for such things like landing pages, or you can use it to get the script if you're doing if you're putting a video on. It'll give you. You can ask it to give you the script. You even use it for TikTok ads or any platform, as long as you put in what the platform's for. It's just really a remarkable piece of AI. It'll do the opposite too. If you ask it to give you objections that people would have to an item, it will print you out a list of objections and possible ways around it. If you send out a lot of emails, you could ask it to print you up an email. I've done that myself. And it's just a really good piece of AI to use. And there's a lot of other parts that AI has come up with. There's one in particular that I like using all the time. It's called Leonardo AI. That if you come up with a story from ChatGPT, you go to Leonardo AI, and you can create any picture that you want. Be a cartoon, be an actual photo picture. You simply type in what you want in the picture. And an example of that is when I was first trying it out, I love eagles. As you can see around my office, you'd see eagles all over the place. I simply typed in, give me a picture of an eagle flying over water in the sunset. And it gave me the most beautiful pictures. I had a problem last week trying to share my screen, so if I knew that wouldn't happen again, I'd show you the pictures. But I can get into more AI. I could talk about AI for hours, but I'll save some for other nights. I do have a list of people that want to be guests on my show. As soon as I get them scheduled, we will have guests on this show. Got a friend here right now, co-host of the podcast, Kurt. And Kurt, do you have any questions or comments about what I've been saying?
Well, I just want to check in real quick. We're on standby here with our podcast engineer, Emily. Emily, are you there available to enter a conversation? And in the meantime, while we're waiting for Emily, I guess I can offer, if anybody does have anything with these live streams, some of it's going on to my profiles and people that know me anyway. Feel free to give me a call anytime, 262-372-1754. And you can also text that line. And you can also email me, Kurt, K-U-R-T, at spiritofthegame.org. And yes, we're here at the Willability Podcast Network. This is your Revolutionize Your Marketing podcast live stream program. And thank you, John, for providing. And so, yeah, this element of AI, I was on a meeting earlier where, people were commenting about AI, and actually Edwin, the chief happiness officer of the Happy Neighborhood Project, was saying, pretty much if you're not implementing AI and, expanding, you're leveraging AI and really get into the game of AI, really missing out. He equated it to, you know, decades ago when computers were kind of coming in to be a consumer item, and, people were kind of balking at, using these personal computers like I don't want to do that. And he's kind of like, if you look at technologies and innovations like that, and you just kind of push off on it, you're just going to be waiting for the inevitable when it becomes a household thing, that pretty much everybody, is on AI. And you visit a lot of websites today, and they have an AI interface onto their website. So it's a part of website development to allow your users to benefit in AI as they navigate your content, so on and so forth. So it expedites the process. It collapses the time frame it takes to accomplish why you're connecting in to the internet, to that online tool, to digital content, and so forth. It's very efficient. And when you use AI a lot, you become proficient, and then you become glad that you're using it. So, yeah, Chat GPT and other programs out there where you can basically, train or guide that tool to bring back exactly what you need. We can think about like authors of books. You're like, okay, I'm going to write a book. And then you're writing and writing, or you're typing and typing, and you're just going off of your own brain, and you kind of get this ebb and flow where at times you get like writer's cramp, where you kind of lose your mojo, and you kind of lose your thrust and your progression on your writing piece, your manuscript. And that's where Chat GPT is so powerful, because it goes out there and it sprawls the internet, and it goes and automatically collects content relevant to what you're asking. So when you give the prompts, you give the instructions, you ask the questions, and everything that you're doing into the automated tool, the more you do with it, the more it's going to refine a search, just like doing your Googles. Sometimes you throw in a Google and it's kind of, that's not really what, how can I go about it differently? All right. And then so this is the next evolution of that type of practice. Chat GPT, really allowing you to sharpen your pencil and to help you make sure you're not missing anything. And while you're creating your masterpiece, your work piece, your writing piece, you can learn along the way, because Chat GPT, when it throws you content, it's kind of like, oh, I never would have, put those words in there, or I never thought to, throw in about this item or that object, or refer to that person, and stuff like that. But Chat GPT, using the power of the internet and this knowledge commons that we call the World Wide Web, it's just a next evolution of empowering everything that's out there. Just think of, when the internet began and all this stuff is being populated out there, it's like a whole world of its own. It's that virtual world, isn't it? It's a reflection of our in-person, offline living. There's a resemblance of it out in the internet. And so that's what Chat GPT is working with, is, everything that is populated on the internet. And all of a sudden you can use Chat GPT, and you give it an instruction, and it deploys for you and goes out and grabs all that. And how powerful that is in marketing, because the secret sauce in marketing is how relevant you are. The process to people embracing and doing something with your offer, your product, or your service, or considering your faith organization, considering your community group, your personal project, whatever it is like that. um it matters how well you're giving the person that is receiving your message exactly what they need. And, one school of thought is it's a 4-step process. You're going out there, you're getting their attention, you're connecting to their interests, you're bringing it through their desires. Because when you're really hitting home in terms of what's in their heart, what's in their soul, and what they tend to consume their mind with, when you're in that area of desire, now you're just that step away from action. And as you are going through that real process, when you're communicating to another person, ChatGPT is a powerful tool to, again, help arm you, with content that you can consider. It can bring stuff back. You can totally throw it out, but I think it just gives you that little bit of research to say, is there something I'm missing as I'm forming this marketing message? It's very good practice. And so we hear from the show, and I'm sure it's getting to be more and more people around, pretty commonplace. You could probably ask a friend or a colleague or, a church member or a fellow volunteer in a nonprofit group or whatever. And people are probably more than willing to help you, in what you're trying to do with
Yeah.
ChatGPT and other AI tools. So,
You
John, back to you. What else did you want to deliver today as your nugget with ChatGPT?
you were talking about the book. Prime example of how that works. I'm in the middle of a project myself. A while ago, I put into ChatGPT, print me up an ebook on customer acquisition. And in about 3 minutes, it gave me 43 pages of print. So I'm in the process of going through, refining it, what it gave me. It's 43 pages of print. It's a lot to go through and make sure that it's correct and reword it, put my own words into it. And I'm putting graphs and charts into it where it'll help explain what it says. And probably eventually, I'm sure it'll become a book one of these days. But
Yeah, it's great stuff. It's repurposing content. It's kind of like a picture in a college class. A professor has this book that's going to be used in the college class, and all the students in the class go and buy the book. And then they get this, real paper printed book, and then they're going to use it for their studies. And now they're reading and going through this book, maybe highlighting, maybe putting side notes on there. Maybe they got their notebook. And just think, if you have a class in college of like 80 people, 80 students in the classroom in college, and then you think about how that same book, that same source, the same lecture from the professor, and how there's 80 different forms of the same objective to say, with this syllabus, with this curriculum, this coursework, our objective is to get you to know this content, and your end goal is to be able to take an examination, an exam, and to show that you know it all. And so that's what I look at this is about, is ChatGPT allows you to navigate that variable in terms of, like, you're going to write a book, so there's an infinite number of ways that your book could end up, and it's a little tough to manage. And again, the secret sauce is as much as your thing might be a masterpiece, what matters is how people accept it. So if you are kind of losing some of the background of this and not really looking at the context that is there, see, ChatGPT allows you to check that, because you're in a line of thinking, you're in a perspective, and then you kind of throw it to ChatGPT. What's interesting is, like I said, all of a sudden it can shift your perspective to say, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Or, oh, yeah, that's what I was trying. It's all in there. It could also be confirmation, affirmation, which can really help the creative juices when you're getting that positive feedback from an automated tool. And the great thing about this automation and these online tools and the digital stuff is it's always there. You get that instant gratification, instant results, which helps your productivity. Emily here on this, production, she's a VA, a scheduler, a podcast engineer. So is there a lot of exchanges there? Like right now I had to check in with Emily, like, are you there? With ChatGPT is always there for you. There's a lot of people out there in services where they might be there to help John, produce his book and whatever. And that can be very powerful to have those, people who, have a business of service to help that, and there's you can't replace that with Chat GPT, but there's the benefit to that, and then Chat GPT, and then again, I'm trying to stress here, that instant, always available. So when something sparks, you can go to it and you can get the response, and then you can work off of that spark, check in with Chat GPT to see what it's bringing back for you from the internet, and just keep this momentum going, in your creation project, because again, you can work with other human beings, but we as human beings, we have our limitations. And that's what they always say about machines and computers and even businesses. They say, businesses don't fail, people do, and it's almost like, technology. There's a thing that I learned decades ago that, people who are programmers, they have this kind of code for, is it coming from what's in the program in the code, or is it misapplied by somebody who is using the program or the software? And they call that DUE. They call that dumb user error. And it's I'm guessing a euphemistic or fun thing that, programmers use, but it's to sort it out. Like, can we improve the program, or is it about applying the program? And to me, if somebody's making a mistake, if there is DUE, a dumb user error, well, it's like, how can we improve the program better to avoid that? And I'm sure that's what's going to happen as ChatGPT evolves. Because right now, with it being new, cutting edge, and emerging out there, it is what it is, and there's a little bit of an art form to get it to get you results that you're looking for. And that's a little bit of practice, but I'm sure what's going to happen is that Chat GPT and other AI programs are going to evolve to just like really have more artificial intelligence. And I was in a program once that was talking about EI, emotional intelligence. So the idea is that that's what's going to happen is as the character of Chat GPT or other AI programs come forward, they're going to actually be able to program it in there, things from emotional intelligence, because that's a whole field and scope of its own, and it's out there in text and websites and so forth. So with that, Emily, come on in here. I see you return. Let's see what you have to add, and how does Chat GPT and how does AI? I know we're working with the organization Now site and such like that for some of the A stuff, and we also have Pinnacle AI that we work with. But Emily, describe as a VA, a scheduler, podcast engineer. How does AI and anything specifically you can say, Emily, about Chat GPT?
I know it's a big thing that's being used right now and talked about. And like I've tried using it a couple times, and it was sort of helpful, like wording and stuff, or that kind of thing. I know this one person saying they put in like a few words for like a description or something, and it came out better. Like they wouldn't have been able to write that. Like it's, I guess, sort of similar to what Kurt was saying, and better than what it came up with. And so yeah, it's a thing going on. So to answer your question, Kurt.
Yeah. So we're kind of in the tail segment of the show, Emily, and so John gave us a tremendous topic of Chat GPT and everything that we've been covering. Emily, what do you and John have in store for us for closing on out?
Oh, John, did you have a word of the week today, or word of the day that you've had before? That's okay. I know you've had it
Oh,
before.
I did. I didn't get one ready this week.
Oh,
Falling
okay.
behind. One thing I do want to
Yeah.
mention, though, Kat, Kurt, you had mentioned about college classes and college work. It's funny you should mention that because next week I'm supposed to be starting a college course at the age of 65. And they make sure that they specify when you're doing any work in the classes, if it comes from AI, you have to make it known where you get your information from. And they do not like it coming directly and purely from AI. But if you use it to get information and then just reword it in your own words, you just have to mention that you got that you did research on AI to get it.
Yeah, it's become another source. I mean, you can, source an encyclopedia, which is now digitally on Wikipedia and other encyclopedia formats digitally, but periodicals, you can cite something from USA Today or from a TV program where the transcript is there to make sure you're accurate on what you're citing. But yeah, that's all part of good research and good cultivation of reporting back and showing your understanding. And so yeah, it becomes another source, another resource, and a source that needs to be cited. That yeah, if you get it from Chat GPT, yeah, definitely let your professor instructor know. And yeah, as long as you got a piece there that is showing without Chat GPT, you got
Yeah.
command subject matter, it all fits together. Yeah.
So, all right. That's it for me today, folks. Thanks for viewing. Hope you enjoy it and stay tuned for more special shows coming up in the very near future.
Sounds good. Again, we're here every Friday, 4:00 p.m. Central. And we'd love to have you on the show. So if you're interested, please let us know. Can get that taken care of. And also to check out our partners of the Disability Channel, Wingate Studios, the Pack Channel, and Night Wolf, DJ Productions. And they have great stuff going on as well. But until next time, have a safe and productive week and stay happy.